Hi friends, happy Monday. I've missed you. It's been a really long time since I've sat down and talked with you and read a story. Before I start today, I just want you to stop what you're doing and take 3 really amazing deep breaths with me, because we're going to talk about some emotions today and we're going to talk about some really important things, and I want you to be focused and calm and ready to listen and learn with me. So we're going to take 3 really deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Cool. That was needed. There are several reasons why I haven't been able to read a story in a while. Mostly it's because I had a lot of learning to do on my own. I had some things I needed to read for myself to learn from. And I wanted to find some more books to read with you that would help my friends who are watching understand a little more about what is happening in the world right now. And if you don't really know what's happening, I encourage you to have some conversations with your parents or with your friends, or to listen to this video, because I think what is happening is extremely important and valuable, and it can be hard to talk about, but it's very needed. And with what is happening, there are a lot of emotions that are coming out that might be difficult to comprehend or to unfold. And those emotions are existing in all of us. If you're from my class, you're familiar with the beast, which is, a collection of all of those very powerful emotions within us that are not always very comfortable to have, but they're a normal part of being a human. And in order for us to, better interpret the world around us and the life that we're living, it's very valuable to think about the emotions in us and, confront them in a way that they can be inside you peacefully and healthfully, and they are able to use those emotions to better, address what's happening in the world. So something that I did in the last month was I ordered some new stories, and I'm very excited to read them with you. I had a really hard time deciding what books I wanted to read with you first. You know that I'm a really big lover of anything that's going to help teach my friends about being a good person, having empathy and compassion and love and respect for others. And I think those are very important for right now. And I have a lot of books on emotions because, again, it's essential that we understand them in order to live a healthy and happy life and help others do the same. So I just bought the box set of A Little Spot of Emotion, which has several different wonderful and difficult emotions. And, with the world right now, there's an emotion that is standing out to me personally, and I want to talk about it with you. So an emotion that I wanted to talk about in our story today is sadness. So this is called A Little Spot of Sadness. And I picked this one because my heart and many people's hearts in the world, they're all experiencing some sadness for the way that people of color are being treated by society. And it's really hard to not feel sadness for those who are being hurt, who have been hurt, who are family members of people who have been hurt. And I think it's just important that we are talking about this feeling. And I'm shaking a little bit because one, I haven't read with you in a while, and two, I might get kind of emotional while reading this, and I think that's important to address. And I hope my friends know that it is entirely normal to feel sad. And it's also really, really important that we recognize sadness in others, because when this happens, there's something that we can do. And usually if there is sadness, something needs to be done, because it's hard to feel sadness, but you're not alone if you're feeling it. I'm going to get started because I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. Pardon me there. I'm ready to talk with you guys. I wish you were here so that we could have a really good conversation. If you want to have a conversation, please comment on this and let's talk. This is A Little Spot of Sadness. All of these books are written and illustrated by Diane Alber. We have read so many of her stories, but this book especially will talk about empathy and compassion, something that I like to teach in my class, and I hope that my friends who are watching can learn about. So, A Little Spot of Sadness. Hi, I'm a peaceful spot, and this blue spot is a sadness spot. What's a sadness spot? And it looks like it needs a hug. All right, so here's our peaceful friend, and here's our sad friend. And these two friends look a little concerned because they are seeing that the sadness spot is showing signs of being sad. And there's things that we do when we see that. A sadness spot can show up when someone is feeling upset, disappointed, or if they experience loss. Sadness is one of the many emotions we can experience every day. Other emotions are anxiety and anger too. We all have these emotions inside of us. I repeat, we all have these emotions inside of us. Okay, coming back to that beast, those powerful emotions, they're a part of being human. But we feel the best when we are able to calm them down into a peaceful spot. So even though these feelings exist in all of us, we don't always feel good when they're there. And there's ways that we can calm them so that we can exist peacefully with them. You will see both small and large spots of sadness. Having your sadness spot around is okay, but when it stays too long or becomes too big, it doesn't make you feel very good. That's why I'm here to show you how to recognize when someone's sadness spot shows up, and how to help them find a peaceful spot. I'll also show you how to manage your own sadness spot too. Okay. And if you're familiar with the idea of filling buckets, right? We've talked about this a lot in my class. It's important to take care of yourself. And in order to be helpful for others, we must have some of that love inside of us as well. And so if we want to show empathy, right, we need to be aware of other people's feelings, but also those feelings inside of ourselves, because it's helpful to be able to relate to people and their feelings. A sadness spot is unique because it's one of the few emotions that other people can help you with. That's why I want to show you how to spot it. Crying is one of the ways a sadness spot releases energy, which can help you feel better. It can also show you when a person is feeling down, so you can go and help them find their peaceful spot. Okay, so when you see someone who is crying and they look upset and down, that's a sign to you that they have a sadness spot happening right now, okay, and they might need some help from you, okay? With this too, what they said, crying is a way of releasing energy. I'm someone that is naturally a very happy crier. When I feel very, very full of joy and love, it's so overwhelming that I cry, but it's a great feeling. And it feels really good to cry when I'm sad as well. It releases some of those just feelings and helps me feel lighter. Maybe you've felt this way too. It is also important to know that a sadness spot may be there even if someone is not crying. You can look at their body language too. So just because someone's not crying doesn't mean they're not feeling sadness, right? A lot of it has to do with their body language too. Some people wear their emotions on their sleeve, meaning it's really easy to detect what they're feeling. Some people, not so much. If you see someone frowning or moping, their sadness spot is definitely nearby. This person could use a friend. That could be you, right? Definitely. Take a look around and see if maybe there's someone who could use a little bit of love. I mean, the world can always use more love, always. Loneliness can cause your sadness spot to get bigger too. If you see someone who could use a friend, ask them if they are okay and be there to listen. If you have experienced what they are going through, let them know they are not alone and you are there for them. You are calming their sadness spot with empathy, right? It's a huge and very powerful thing to reach out to others who are in need, especially with love. That is one of the most amazing things that we can do as humans, and it's not hard just to share love with someone and listen. I think I've said this before in my books, but it's something I'm trying to work on, is being a better listener, especially right now. There's a lot that I can learn from the sadness that I'm seeing in the world. There's a lot. And so this book is helping remind me of ways that I can show empathy and help calm these sadness spots so that we can do something with this sadness. It can be common to see an anxiety spot with a sadness spot. When a new kid arrives to class, they may be worried and sad at the same time. You can help them feel more welcome by saying hello and introducing them to your friends. You are calming their sadness spot with compassion. And that's really important. Remember, you can have lots of feelings existing at once. Maybe a lot of, more not so good feeling emotions, maybe some not so good feeling emotions mixed with great feeling emotions. Like I said, all of these exist in all of us. And so if we start to have those emotions mixed, it's normal. But you can use your understanding of emotion to spot it in others and help. So for instance, here's our anxiety spot and our sadness spot. And our anxiety spot is wondering, what if I don't fit in at school, right? And others can help by reminding you that you're not alone in this, right? Like, I miss my friends, but hey, I'm gonna go meet some new ones, right? Like, hello, you can hang out with me, right? I've always told my friends, if you see someone who doesn't have anyone, go over and introduce yourself, right? Don't be a stranger. We can all be friends here. Just go over and say, what's up? Here's my name. You are cool. Let's go be friends. Maybe they'll be down. Maybe not. Oh well. At least you're doing your part by spreading that love and trying to form more connection with others, because human connection and love can really be a great way to help these sadness and anxiety spots. A sadness spot can be a little sneaky, like when it shows up before you decide how to react to the problem. Sometimes it takes the help of others to see it's only a tiny problem that can easily be fixed. You are calming their sadness spot with teamwork. Okay. Like, this girl's sad, she lost her unicorn. But here comes a friend to say, I can help you find it. Is this it? Right? Teamwork, my friends. You see a lot of people right now in the world coming together to tackle the problems that need to be addressed in our world. We can't do this alone. So teamwork, this is really resonating with me right now, because what I see is so much teamwork in the world. People coming together to raise awareness that love will win, that we will not take the treatment that is unfair and unjust, that we're going to work together to teach the world about empathy and compassion and hopefully make the world a better, more fair and equal place. Again, We got to do it together. We're all in this together. You might also see a sadness spot appear when someone has lost a pet, friend, or family member. Being there to give them a hug and talk about the happy times they shared with that person or pet can help them feel the love that will always be in their heart. You are calming their sadness with love. Now, from experience, this might be exactly what someone experiencing a sadness spot might need. This might also not be what they need. Some people need space when they go through a loss. Some need to, grieve on their own and then talk. Others might need it right away. Again, you'll be learning about this as you grow, and it might look different for everyone. The best thing to do is just tell the people that you love that you are there for them, no matter what. And if they need a listener, be a listener. If they need a shoulder to cry on, be that shoulder to cry on. If they need you to speak up, speak up. But when someone is hurting, be there for them and maybe let them tell you what they need from you. It's another way to help. Sometimes you might see a sadness spot show up when someone misses a loved one who is far away. Having a friend to have fun with can really help. You're calming their sadness spot with friendship. Okay. And I've read the story before, The Invisible String. Maybe you've read that. It's an important thing to talk about with friends. Maybe you have a loved one who is far away in a different city or state or country. Maybe they're far away because they're in heaven. But it's really important to remember and to remind those that we see who are experiencing it that, the power of love will always connect us. And those that we love and miss will always be with us. Their energy stays with us. Their love sticks inside of us and becomes a part of us. And as a friend, you can remind your friends who are experiencing grief or loss or just missing someone that it's going to be okay. And remind them of the happy times. Or maybe they need some distraction, like bubbles. Who knows? There are ways to calm your own sadness spot too, right? It's one thing to always be there for others. That's an amazing thing. But in order to be there for others, you must be there for yourself. You must put, I don't have COVID, I promise. Hold on. Break for a sip of some synergy. Ooh my. All right. Self-love. Again, you must put on your own oxygen mask before you put on the masks to your friends, right? Taking care of yourself first so that you can take care of others. It's essential. We must have some in our bucket so that we have something to give, or else we're just taking away. So make sure you're in tune with how you're feeling. Some days you just feel sad and you aren't really sure why. I've definitely had those days. I'm sure you have too. When you feel like being alone or no one is there to comfort you, music, drawing, writing, they can help relax your mind. That's just a few things, right? You are calming your sadness spot with creativity. So maybe you're someone that when you're feeling those spots of sadness or anxiety, you just need to express yourself creatively, and that's how you feel better. And that's awesome. Power to you. There's so much epic art that has come from these feelings. If your sadness spot won't go away, I have a trick you can try. Look at your hand. Now imagine one blue spot and one green spot on your palm, just like this. Okay, so we're having those two spots. I'm guessing the sadness and the peace. Repeat after me. Circle the spots in the middle of your palm. Count the swirls down to calm. Around and around twice more. 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Each time you trace around the spots, Take a deep breath to calm your thoughts. Okay. So circle the spots in the middle of your palm. Count the swirls down to calm. Around and around and around twice more. 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Each time you trace around the spots, take a deep breath to calm your thoughts. We took some deep breaths in the beginning of this video, and I think it's important that we remember how good that feels to breathe and take deep breaths. It's so important for calming the mind. That's a good exercise. I'll remember that one. I'm so glad to see that you have learned how to calm down sadness spots. Always remember our little trick. Circle the spots in the middle of your palm. Count the swirls down to calm. Around and around twice more. 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Each time you trace around the spots, take a deep breath to calm your thoughts. Awesome. You can imagine your own spots or cut them out of construction paper and place them on your palm. All right? That's a really awesome way to calm those feelings, to calm the sadness spot, the anxiety. Wow, that's amazing. I'm really glad I read this. I'm going to be reading all of these, so tune in if you want to hear those. My friends, I just want to remind you of something. I try to remind you in all of these stories. Do your best to always remember that if we want to make the world a better place, we need to protect and love one another. We have to protect and love ourselves, but each other. About, that teamwork that we talked about. If we're going to make a change in this world, we've got to be there for each other. And that means, if our friends need us, we show up. Maybe that looks like listening. Maybe it means speaking up. Maybe it means being a shoulder for them to cry on. Or maybe it means just someone who is standing there in solidarity with you, with them. So just try and remember that. It can be hard for some, but just do your best to keep showing love, sharing your heart with others. Think of others and think about how you want to be treated. Please treat them that way. We all deserve love. We all deserve respect. You matter. Your life matters. And it's really important that we remember that. I'm sorry, it's a really long video. I urge you to talk about how you're feeling with those around you, with those you trust. Talk about what's happening in the world right now. I'm very, very proud of the people who are coming together to speak up and speak out against the injustices that are happening in the world. I'm with every single one of them. I'm here for you. I love you. I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to live in this community that believes in that and believes in the power of love. So let's stick together. Okay, my friends, keep showing that love. I love you, thinking of you, I miss you. If you're feeling sadness, try some of these exercises, talk to the people around you. You have the power to calm these thoughts and to use that energy to do great in the world. I love you.